created this video to help you analyze bias in a source. For this example, I've selected a news article from Fox News, which I know to be a right-leaning source. As I go through this source, I'm going to evaluate the language choices, quality and credibility of their cited sources, placement of key ideas within the text, as well as any omissions of key ideas and potential contradictions. So this article is set up as a conflict between students and woke colleges which are urging them not to wear offensive costumes. They start off with general statements about what the schools are encouraging students not to wear and quotes from the school's websites. In this paragraph, they choose not to quote and rather summarize the school's example of Katy Perry. The way that they frame the example, stating, "even Katy Perry," and choosing to only direct quote the words several and stereotyped costumes, seems to indicate their skepticism. They continue with, UW-Madison did not specify which video is culturally appropriate, however. By focusing on what was not said, it also seems that they are casting doubt on the school's statement. Throughout this article, they include many quotes from students. These are presented as if they represent the opinion of the majority of students at these schools. In this quote, the student first identifies as Asian American, and then shares their opinion that the situation was ridiculous and that they are not offended but rather flattered. This is the only student in the article who identifies as a minority, and their quotes are the first student opinion to appear in the article. This quote is then further highlighted in large bold print below, signifying its importance. With this being the only minority opinion in the article, they are setting the student up as if they are a spokesperson for all cultures. In this section, they provide a direct quote of what the student said, but they also summarize it above, and the phrase, "should not stick their nose where it does not belong," is more antagonistic than what the student actually said, that it's not the college's place. This student also makes large generalized statements such as, "no one truly feels offended by someone wearing a costume, and if you do that, it's something you need to work out." The student is framing their argument as if any normal person would not be offended, and anyone who is truly offended has problems that they need to work out. Yet the article is not providing any student perspective to counter this idea that no one feels offended. They follow up the student's quote by stating that other schools go even further in their efforts. This statement, and its position right after the student quote, seems to reinforce that idea that schools are going too far. In this section, the author adds emphasis to the student quote by including in parentheses that Ohio University is a strictly left-leaning college. They are playing to their audience concern about left-leaning woke influence. The section of the quote that they highlight here implies that there is an insidious underlying purpose that further lends strength to this idea. Throughout this article, students are responding as if the colleges they attend are actively preventing them from wearing offensive costumes. Yet the quotes included from the college websites use language like think, consider, encourage, educate, respect, remember. Nowhere in the statements provided does it indicate that students are not allowed or will be punished if they do so. So from the headline up to this point, the article has presented the situation as if the students are unified in disagreement against the college administration, and that these are college-initiated and imposed in campaigns. Yet here towards the end of the article, it's revealed that the My Culture is Not a Costume campaign was developed by a student organization, and that the college's Division of Diversity and Inclusion has collaborated with student leaders across the campus. So this is an issue that clearly has student support, and yet throughout the article we are only given quotes for students who are in opposition. There is no indication from this article that there are mixed opinions on this issue. We're getting a very selective presentation of the information that includes only perspectives which support the publication's leanings. The article relies heavily on exemplification, so they're using examples of public opinion, in this case student quotes, to connect with their audience and persuade them. So here are some of the examples of the bias in the source, and in the next video I will go over locating relevant scholarly articles.